In this video, you're going to learn how to set up a Facebook ad for a local service business. This is going to be something that you can use going into 2022 that's going to help you generate more leads and make more sales for your local business. Now, I'm also going to be covering how to maximize the bang for your buck, how to get more of those people to become a booked clients and avoid the tire kickers and those who are just looking for free stuff by automating what happens after they become a lead. If this is your first time here, my name is Armando and I help local small businesses use the internet to generate more revenue and make more money. And if that's something you're interested, click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the other content that I'm going to put out. Okay, our starting point here is going to be the Facebook Ads Manager. So if you want to follow along with this video, go navigate to your Facebook Ads Manager, find your right ad account, and this is where we're going to be creating the ad. For the sake of this training, I'm going to be using junk removal services as my example throughout this entire video here. By the way, one thing that you should know that I'm a big fan of keeping everything simple, so do not overcomplicate this process. Once you're in the Ads Manager, what you want to do is create a new campaign here with a green button that's listed on the left hand side. So you're going to click on create campaign. This is going to bring up a dialog box. It's going to ask you to choose which consideration. It's good to know that a lot of times small business owners say Facebook ads don't work, or it didn't work for me, or I ended up with a bunch of likes and comments and shares, but I ended up with no leads. And that's usually because they either picked the wrong objective or their targeting is completely off and nobody can even see it or care about what they're offering. So for this training, we're going to go with an objective that is going to be straightforward. It's going to be the least tech, heavy setup that allows you to get up and running within the same week. So I'm going to choose the lead generation objective. And then what we want to do is click continue. What this is going to do is build a campaign structure here. We have campaign, we have an ad set, and then we have an ad level here. So where we're at now is at the campaign level. What you want to do is just give this a name that actually makes sense. Once you've given this a name that makes sense, come down here and just kind of glance at this screen here and make sure that campaign budget optimization is off and that A/B testing is off. You actually don't need those options for local service businesses right now. From here, we want to head on over to the left-hand pane here where it says new lead generation ad set, and we want to click on that ad set. Now, in the ad set screen, you're just going to want to label this ad set whatever makes sense to you. I typically recommend labeling this the audience that you're going after plus the type of campaign that you've got going on here. Once you've done that, you want to make sure that the lead method selected is instant forms. You want to make sure that you've got the right page selected. If you are a business that has more than one page, this may show a different one. Just make sure you choose the right one. If this is your first time running lead ads, under this page, you're going to have a terms of service. Mine says view terms because I've already accepted them. But if you're new, this may say accept terms. Just go ahead and click that and accept the user terms there. Next, you're going to come down to budget. Now, your budget is your budget, whatever that is. Just pick the corresponding budget that belongs to you. Before I move further, if you guys want to dive deeper into this process and understand, each step a lot deeper, in setting up your ads, I do have a mini workshop. There's a link in the description. You can pick that up and kind of go through that more in depth. Let's move on. The next thing that you want to do for this is audience. You remember when I said you don't want to overcomplicate things? What you want to do is just keep things simple. Do not run things in the entire United States. If I am running something in Houston, for example, as a test here, I'm going to just pick Houston as my local area. For you guys that have service businesses, you can pick the area that you want to work in, neighborhood, zip code, set up zip codes, even city. Like, for example, Houston's a big city. I wouldn't typically run this all over Houston because I could be running from one side to the next in the same day, and I wouldn't want to do that. So I would pick a subset. I would pick a handful of zip codes that are clustered together to give me the best bang for my buck. Okay. Next thing that I want to do here is I want to pick the age. You know your business better than anybody else does. Pick the age range of people who typically are buying your services, and also pick the gender if there's a gender. If not, leave it alone. As far as detailed targeting and demographic goes, you don't need to do anything else with that. You just leave it alone there. When it comes to placements though, I do like to make sure that things are, I'm not wasting my money on placements that are not going to convert. Right now, the thing that is converting is going to be mobile. So I want to typically click on manual placements, and I want to remove the desktop option from here and only choose mobile. And then you're going to head on over to the left-hand pane, and we're going to start the setup of our creative for our ad. Once you're at the ad level, we are going to, very first thing that you're going to do is name the ad. Now, it makes sense to name this ad something that matches your creative. So for me, I'm going to choose a picture that's like a pile of junk in here. And so I'm going to label it pile of junk. My recommendation for this always is video. If you've got it, there's a specific way you can set that up, but images also work, pretty well. You just want to kind of test those creatives there. Next thing that I want to do is come here to where it says create ad, and it's going to give me a single image or carousel. So right now I'm just going to leave single image alone, and I'm going to choose the image that I have in my library to plug away at this ad. So I'm going to click add media, and then I'm going to choose image. Once you find the image that you want to use, select it and click next. Now, it's important to note with images that you can have text on these images. You can add videos as well. You can make slideshows. One thing that I do want you to keep in mind, though, is make sure that you own the rights to the image. Don't go off Google and take images that do not belong to you. You should be in the habit of taking pictures and video for your business of the jobs that you guys do so that you can have them to run advertising in the future. The next thing you want to do is fill out your primary text. In this primary text section, this is the text that goes above the ad right here. Typically this is some sort of offer, some sort of deal. It's okay if you want to put your pricing up front on there and tell people that your services are $180 or $190 or whatever they are, typically discounted, whatever, right? If you have a sale going on, plug it in here. For the sake of this training, I just said, hey, we got some local junk removal services. You can text or call us here for some free estimates. We do have a headline that says get your quote now, along with a get quote button down here. Once you fill this out, you need to come down to this section here and actually create a form that people are going to fill out. So if you click on create form, it's going to bring up this little window here. The cool thing about this is that when people click on get quote, this little form opens up and they can go ahead and fill out their first name, their last name, phone number, zip code, anything that you need to give people a quote. So very first thing that you want to do is just name this form something that actually makes sense for you, form leads or whatever you want. Next thing is that you're going to be asked to choose, form type. Pick whichever corresponds to you. I typically like higher volume, higher intent, also works as well. And then we have an intro here. Just leave it alone, exactly how it is. Under greeting, you can just tell people get your junk removal quote today, and that's about it, right? You can have a paragraph or whatever you want in here as well. So questions is going to be what is it that you need to provide a quote for people? Is it going to be just their name, their phone number, their email address? You can add more questions from these categories in here. If you need somebody's phone number, that's probably going to be a good one to populate in there. Somebody's name is in their phone number, so you can return their call. The next thing here that you want to do is add a private privacy link from your website. Just take your privacy link from your website, plug it in here, and keep going. Next thing is going to be the completion form. On the completion screen, this is like the thank you screen that the customer is going to see when they submit their information. I typically like to change this headline to something like we're going to reach out to you and provide an instant quote or something like that, along with maybe a phone number in here. You can have them have the option to call or self-book their time slot onto your calendar, which is kind of a cool thing that we do. Once you're done with this, you want to go ahead and publish this form to make it live. Now, one thing you can do if you want to just kind of preview your ad before it goes live is click on this option that says all preview options in here, and you can send the notification to your phone so that you can see it on your device. The other way to do this is you can click expand and this is going to show you exactly what that ad's gonna look like on your mobile phone here. It's going to look exactly like this. Once you're done with this, you can go ahead and click publish, and then this goes to review through Facebook, and then they publish it live. And usually what we're seeing is within 7 days, sometimes within the same day, we're starting to see some results of people coming in. If you've got a good offer, you set up your targeting the right way, your creative is cool, we're starting to see results come through. And this works really across any local service-based business. It doesn't have to be just junk removal. It works for moving, carpet, it works for painting, handyman services, any type of home service, even real estate agents. This stuff works really well for. Now, one of the things that I hear people say all the time is, oh, I submitted this, I did this, but I get nothing but junk leads. And I'm going to show you how to really maximize every single dollar that you put in your advertising, because it's not enough to create an ad to generate leads. You still have to follow up with these leads, and you still have to kind of do some of the legwork behind that. But I'm going to show you what we do for our clients that you can go ahead and replicate as well. We like to set up automations pretty much for every single one of our clients when we set ads like these up. And I'm going to show you how this works. So what you're looking at here is a dashboard of something that we set up predominantly for all of our clients. And what this does is it creates a simple follow-up process for you to hit these customers instantly, and for you to bring them into text messages and email and phone calls instantly without you ever having to pick up the phone. So let's say that you've got this junk removal ad running, and it's running. You're busy running your everyday operations of your business, and leads start to come in. Well, you're not going to want to stop in the middle of a job to answer the phone and to answer these questions, right? So what this does is, the moment a form is submitted on Facebook, our system, this workflow, it's a series of steps that need to happen instantly so that you have a higher chance of converting people. So what we first do is, when somebody comes in, we create what's called an opportunity. We add this person's name, phone number, email address, zip code, and any other required information that you need onto like a little dashboard that shows you all these people. The next thing that we do is the automation instantly sends you a text and says, hey, John, look, you've received a junk removal lead, and here's their name and number, zip code, all that stuff, so that you as the customer have the information right there in your hand. Now, this can go to your staff. This typically can go to a front office person if you've got that. And if you don't, then it just kind of goes to you. But the other thing that we do instantly is we instantly send the customer an email saying, hey, if somebody submitted that info, we say, hey, Mike, thank you for reaching out about our junk removal services. Can you send me a couple of pictures of the project so that I can accurately quote you? All right. We wait about a minute or two, and then we also send that person an automatic text message. And these look very conversational. This might come from you, and it can say, hey, Mike, this is Armando with this junk removal company. Thanks for reaching out. Would you send me a couple pictures of the project so that I can kind of quote you on your junk removal services, right? Now, what happens here is we wait for a reply. We wait for these people to reply to that text message. If they end up replying they're going to reply with either the picture, so they're going to say sure or whatever. This automation will wait for that reply, and if it has the pictures of the project and you have, let's say, flat fee pricing, our text message will kick in and it will say, hey, that looks great. We could take care of this for X amount of dollars. Would you like to proceed with that, right? If they say yes, they'd like to proceed, then we have even more automation that happens in here, asking them like, okay, great, what time are you interested in? Does this time work for you? All the way until they book on your calendar and they actually prepay for your services. So all this is happening on the back end without you ever having to text message these people back, without you having to be on the phone with them, without you going to this back and forth with them, over the leads. This will avoid the tire kickers, because the people who do not pick up the phone, the people who do not respond to the text messages or phone calls or follow-ups from this automation are just simply not put in the bucket of customers that you need to deal with. If they don't reply, what would happen if they do not reply to that? Then we try for a couple days to recover those leads. Okay, so we'll wait a day, and then we'll send a text message back to them saying, hey, Mike, I just want to follow up. Do you still need junk removal services? And then we wait, and based on their response, we either book them or we drop them. If they say, yeah, I'm interested, I'm sorry about that, then we can say, great, send me some pictures of the project, and then we go through the process of booking them on the calendar. If they say, no, we're not interested anymore, then we just simply reply with, yeah, no problem, man, take care, it's not for everybody. And this is what happens. Now, this is truly a very simple but yet powerful way to not only follow up on every single opportunity that you have. It doesn't matter if these people are calling you. It doesn't matter if they're coming through the ad. It doesn't matter if they're referrals. You can set up this type of automation for everything in your business so that you can maximize the amount of revenue that you get from these ads. And you're never in a situation where you're like, well, I tried calling these people back and they never picked up the phone, or well, I called them once, or maybe you're losing customers to the endless voicemails that you've got, or maybe you're busy and people are calling you, you're missing phone calls because you're just busy. This will automatically text those missed phone calls on your behalf as well and recover these people so they can become paying customers. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you have a local service business and this is something that you're looking to get set up, we would love to help you set something like this up and see kind of, how much revenue we can help you build within your business. There's going to be links to pretty much everything in the description of this video. You can go check out the tool that we use, so you can check out our services. So yeah, if this was helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.